Mr. Freeland, you're very well aware of how you answered the congressman's question.
Yes, sir.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's great to be here as always. Thank you for tuning in. I have some breaking news for you as of just a couple hours ago. I'm obviously on the road, so I don't have my normal editing capabilities, but I wanted to bring to your guys' attention some testimony that happened in Congress today from the Veterans Affairs Office. This pertains to the Second Amendment rights of our veterans. You've heard in the news about the whole, like, if they can't balance a checkbook, then they're going to take their guns away and, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. I'm going to show you a clip, and it's going to make you mad. But before we get there, today's video is brought to you by Excess Sites, and it just so happens that it seems that whenever I talk about Excess Sites, YouTube dings my video for any B-roll that I show, even if the sights aren't attached to a firearm. So it just so happens to work out that I don't have my regular editing capabilities today. But special thanks to Excess Sights for making today's video possible. I use their big dots on all my pistols, and they do rifle sights and shotgun sights as well. Lots of different profiles out there to fit your guys' needs.
VA's testimony stated that if the Veterans Second Amendment Restoration Act is signed into law, and this is even more troubling, the VA could not comply because the VA states the Department of Justice, an executive branch agency, affirmed VA's interpretation of the Brady Act. So, is it the VA's position that the VA will not comply with an act of Congress based on another agency's interpretation of the law?
So the VA has always works to comply with all laws. We complied with the Brady Handgun Act when it was in fact the law.
So again, is the VA's position, because based on the statement they could not comply with the Restoration Act, the Veterans Second Amendment Restoration Act, is it your position that you will not comply with an act of law passed by Congress?
Yes, sir. I guess based off of what you have in testimony, yes, sir.
That you would not comply?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm glad everybody hears that on the record, that the VA is going to refuse to comply with, regardless of what we actually pass here, including questions that Representative Self was just asking in view of the Chevron Act being passed. Mr. Chair, I have just a couple more questions, but I think that Mr. Friel has incriminated himself and the VA that they're going to have complete disregard for what we're going to do anyway. So
Mr. Friel, you're very well aware of how you just answered the congressman's question, correct?
Sir, as I said, it's in our testimony that we would have trouble complying with that law. As I said,
Mr. Friel, you're very well aware of how you answered the congressman's question.
yes, sir.
You guys heard that right. That is a representative from the Department of Veterans Affairs, the VA, telling a congressional committee that regardless of if they pass the Veterans Second Amendment Restoration Act or not, which is what we're talking about here, that they're not going to comply with the law. So you got an executive agency that derives its power from who can guess what I'm about to say? From the consent of Congress. So Congress passes a law, the executive branch of which the Department of Veterans Affairs is an agency of, enforces the laws that Congress passes. So they don't have the authority to do anything without Congress saying you can do that thing. Congress passes a law, says you expressly cannot do that thing, and they're not going to comply with that law. That's why everybody in the room was a little bit stunned by the matter-of-factness of the representative from the VA. Because they're like, do you realize that you just said that you are going to defy Congress? It is unsheathed, boys and girls. This is absolutely amazing. I cannot believe that they just said that. Anyway, I got to get back moving. That's all I've got for you guys today. I want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below, because that is absolutely nuts. No shame. Zero whatsoever. They just don't care anymore.